Home decor and craft stores are popular amongst people who are creative-minded and love to stand out by creating their own crafts. While most people today go to stores like Hobby Lobby, Joann Fabrics, and even Michaels, some also find the crafts and creative furniture they're looking for online on websites like Wayfair and Amazon. As a result, many of the traditional go-to-home decor and craft stores have fallen by the wayside. So, today, we'll be using our top 5 video series to look at some of these forgotten home decor stores. Before we get started, the creators of Underground Retail wanted to give a huge thanks to everyone who has been supporting the channel as it officially reached 10,000 subscribers. We have also added memberships to the channel that you can join for early access to videos, photo updates, behind the scenes, editing tutorials, and more. Be sure to check it out in the link below. Now, without any further ado, let's get started.
I said the 12-pack, not the 24-pack. We're just gonna have to mix and match.
Number 5. Old America. Old America was an arts and crafts retailer as well as a framing and custom floral store. Founded in 1980, it was based in Howe, Texas, with most of its stores located in the South. It had up to 95 locations at its peak, scattered throughout 25 states in the Southwest, Midwest, and Southeast. In the 1990s, it competed with rival stores Michaels, Hobby Lobby, and MJ Designs Inc. After a change in upper management in 1995, Old America began a quick decline in sales and profit. As a result, Old America started closing stores, filed for bankruptcy in 1999, and ultimately liquidated all of its 59 remaining stores. Number 4. Waccamaw Corp. Waccamaw Corp was a home furnishings business that started in 1977 as Waccamaw Pottery. It was founded by George Bishop in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and originally sold pottery and crafts. The chain would grow in the 1980s, opening locations in North Carolina, Illinois, and Virginia. It expanded into the home furnishings business in the early 1990s, selling houseware, bedding, cookware, china, and furniture. In the face of heavy competition from direct competitors like Bed Bath & Beyond, Linens and Things, and Old Time Pottery, as well as discount stores like Walmart and Target, the company merged with the primarily northeastern-based Home Place and grew to over 100 stores by 2001. As part of this merger, Waccamaw stores were renamed Waccamaw's Home Place and had plans to phase out the Waccamaw name altogether when the company filed for bankruptcy. By June 2001, the company ceased operations. With that said, the original Waccamaw Pottery building in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is still standing as part of the Waccamaw Factory Shops complex. Number 3. Leeward Creative Crafts. Leeward's name dates to the early 1940s and was incorporated by Sidney Fink and Ralph Fried in Chicago, Illinois. The two would later form the company Dexter Thread Mills. While spinning a globe, one of the owner's eyes happened to fall on the Leeward Islands. Thus, the business was named Leeward's. They begin by reselling surplus World War II nylon parachute thread, which they called Lustra Nylon, to the shoe manufacturers and crocheters. In 1950, the company obtained a mailing list of the Virginia Snow brand's customers with inventory and used it as a base to start their own mail order business, calling the catalog division Leeward Mills. It opened its first store in 1953. General Mills purchased Leeward's in 1969 and opened new locations after realizing that the one retail store was more profitable than the entire mail order business. General Mills would eventually rename the chain to Leeward's Creative Crafts, Inc. and close the unprofitable catalog division in 1983. The chain had a little over 100 stores at its peak and featured more than 22 trending crafts. Ultimately, after a handful of ownership changes throughout the late 80s and early 1990s, the chain was bought out by Michaels Stores Inc. in 1994 for a reported $100 million. Number 2. Hancock Fabrics. Hancock Fabrics was a specialty retailer of crafts and fabrics founded in 1957 by Elaine and Lawrence Doyce Hancock. The first few stores that opened offered a greater selection of merchandise to their customers at a lower price than their competitors. By 1971, when Lucky Stores bought Hancock Fabrics, the chain owned 81 stores and had 265 additional franchise stores in 19 states. In the 1980s, it acquired the 100-store chain Minnesota Fabrics, which also had Fabric Warehouse under its name. Despite their success in the 20th century, the company filed for bankruptcy for the first time on March 21, 2007, at which time 104 stores were closed. This was in part due to a default in loan repayment and declining sales. The company then tried to go private, but was eventually forced to withdraw its proposal. On April 1, 2016, the U.S. Bankruptcy Court approved the sale of the remaining assets to Great American Group, which announced that the remaining 185 stores would be closed and their assets liquidated. In August of that year, Michaels purchased the rights to Hancock's Fabrics brand and intellectual property for $1.3 million, marking the end of the franchise. Number 1. Pier 1 Imports. Pier 1 Imports was founded in 1962 by Charles Tandy and Luther Henderson under the name Cost Plus Imports. It was a retail chain specializing in imported home furnishings and decor, particularly furniture, tabletop items, decorative accessories, and seasonal decor. Pier 1 went public on the New York Stock Exchange under ticker Pier in 1972.
Pier 1 Imports.
The chain grew to 265 stores by 1985 and even had a presence in the greater Tokyo area of Japan from 1966 to early 2002. As recently as January 2020, Pier 1 had over 1,000 physical stores throughout the United States and Canada. However, the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on February 17, 2020, citing that the company would close all its stores in Canada, plus an additional 450 stores to provide its lender with $256 million. A few months later, on May 19, 2020, Pier 1 announced that it was asking the bankruptcy court to close all stores due in large part to the COVID-19 pandemic and not finding a buyer. Its request was approved by the court and all locations were shuttered by the end of October 2020. But unlike many of the other businesses in this list, Pier 1 has since been revived as an online retailer by Retail E-commerce Ventures, Rev, after acquiring it for $31 million. Rev is a holding company that buys distressed, iconic brands and revives them as e-commerce businesses. Through this venture, Pier 1 gained a new lease on life, at least for now. And so guys, that brings us to the end of our list of the top 5 forgotten home decor and craft stores. If we've forgotten any of your favorite home decor or craft stores, please let us know in the comments below. See you next time!